the investor over and above the amount brought in by the investor, and enables him to actually complete the trade he is interested in. It is this entire process is known as margin trading. Now obviously the broker will extend credit to the investor only when the investor brings in certain percentage of the value of the transaction with him. Now, when the investor sees a profitable opportunity in the market, he might want to trade over and above his limit. Limit in the sense his own finances. So then, by bringing in margin, requesting the broker to extend credit, the investor can increase the amount of investment in the profitable opportunity. Now, when the investor is being extended credit by the broker will be charging interest on the amount extended, and depending on the time period for which it has been extended. So, all these factors are kept in mind when we calculate the return on margin trading for the investor. His say the opportunity in which he has invested turns out to be good, then he will be adjusting the return for the amount of interest paid. Okay, so the net return will be calculated after adjusting the interest paid to the broker. So this example we had discussed in the last class. Coming to the next slide, in order to trade with margin account, you first need to open a margin account with the broker. You need to request the broker to allow you to trade on margin. Once the account is open, you will have to pay an initial margin. So this is predetermined by the broker. So an initial margin in the margin account again is a security for the broker, so as to compensate for the loss if the investor fails to pay the amount of credit in the future. Okay, now there are other types of margins also in the concept of margin trading. So, most of the terms we have discussed. Initial margin would be the amount which is to be brought in by the investor. So here on the open positions, open position का मतलब क्या होता है, जहां पर अभी सेटलमेंट नहीं हुई है वहां आपको एटलीस्ट 50% ऑफ द टोटल वैल्यू needs to be deposited in your margin account. Only then the balance 50% credit will be extended by the broker. Okay, so generally this amount of margin to be brought in by the investor is kept at 50% by the broker, 50% of the total value of the transaction. Okay, second margin is maintenance margin. So we discussed the concept of MTM, marking to market. वहां पर भी मेंटेनेंस मार्जिन का रोल होता है. Maintenance margin is basically the minimum amount that should be there in your account at the end of any trading day. So, if at any point of time your amount in the margin account falls below the maintenance margin, then you receive a margin call from the broker who's receiving this call from the stock exchange. So a track is kept of how much margin is being maintained in your account, and if at the end of the day there is any shortfall in the maintenance margin, you receive a maintenance call, a margin call, wherein you are directed to deposit additional money in your account, and only then will you be able to continue trading the next day. So In case, just have a look at this point. In case you fail to meet the margin call, so you're receiving a call and you're unable to add more money in your account, your broker will sell your securities so as to make up for the maintenance requirement. So that kind of authority is given to the broker, that they can sell the securities in your account to meet the maintenance call or the margin call. Now, when would you receive a margin call? It is triggered when there is a fall in the value of the securities you are holding in your portfolio. So, you are holding, say, shares of five companies, and say two of them see a sharp fall, steep fall in the prices, then there might be a margin call which will be triggered, because the value lost brings the maintenance margin below the amount required. Okay. Post that, the first concept is calculation of margin. Okay, now margin is calculated in percentage. Very simple formula on your screens. The total value of securities minus the amount brought in by the investor divided by the total value of the securities. This gives us an idea as to how much margin is being brought in by the investor and how much margin is being extended by the broker. So let's straight away come to questions. So, in this case, you are having Mr. X purchases 100 shares of rupees 82 each from the market, for which he gets a loan of 2000 from his broker. Calculate his margin. So, I'll just write down the formula. One correction, debit balance means the amount which we have borrowed. ओके, सो मार्जिन की परसेंटेज जो आएगी उसको 100 में से डिडक्ट करो, यू विल गेट टू नो हाउ मच अमाउंट हैज बीन, हाउ मच परसेंटेज हैज बीन ब्रॉट इन बाय द इन्वेस्टर. आई एम राइटिंग द फॉर्मूला. Margin is equal to okay, 75%. I'll just check. So this is value of securities minus amount borrowed from the broker divided by the value of securities into 100. So here you can see that 8200 is the amount which is the total value of the securities, while 2000 is the amount that has been borrowed from the broker. Which gives you an answer of 75% margin. Just check it. Is it 75 or 76%? 76 have it answer. So, what does this mean? 76%, 75.6, just round it off, or you can keep it at 75.6. 76% of total value of the transaction is being brought in by the investor, and the remaining 24% of the value is being borrowed from the broker. How do you interpret the answer? 100% value of securities, value of trade में 76% of the amount invested is being brought in by the investor, while the investor is borrowing 24% of the value of the transaction. Okay, let's come to the next concept under this, which is the calculation of return on margin. Now, return on margin, that is return on the amount invested by the प्राइम इन्वेस्टर. इन्वेस्टर जो पैसा ला रहा है, मार्जिन ला रहा है, उस पर उसको कितना रिटर्न मिल रहा है. So just have a look at the formula here. Return on margin is equal to value of the security on sale minus value of security on purchase. So this is basically the capital gain you are making from the investment plus current income received. Current income received, now say you are trading in securities in shares and you are receiving some dividend during the duration of your investment, then that income is also added to the return earned by the investor minus interest on borrowings divided by amount invested by the investor. So let us understand the concept using a practical example. Mr. A expects the price of the share of a share to go up 2 rupees 60 from the current level of 40 today in 9 months time. He is interested in purchasing 100 shares of the security for which the broker wants him to give a 50% margin. So 50% will be brought in by the investor and the remaining 50% will be extended by the broker, for which the broker will be charging interest of 15% per annum. So you need to be very careful that if the interest rate is on per annum basis, you will be charging interest only for the duration for which the amount has been borrowed or credit has been extended by the broker. Now the share is expected to pay a dividend of rupees 2 per share, which comprises of an interim dividend of 1.50 and 0.50 as final dividend. So there is interim dividend of 1.5, final dividend 0.5, and one more point has been added that it is only the interim dividend that shall be paid during the holding period. So one question I have is, what is the difference between interim dividend and final dividend? What do you mean by interim dividend, or what do you mean by final dividend? ये कॉन्सेप्ट तो हमने पहले भी डिस्कस करा हुआ है, मीनिंग ऑफ इंटरिम एंड फाइनल डिविडेंड. Okay, so Kabir is saying that interim is paid after the annual general meeting. So is he correct? After full year financial statements issued. Now जो कबीर आप बोल रहे हो, uh, it is partly correct. Actually, you have clubbed both the concepts together. AGM and final financial statements, they actually happen on the same time period. Okay, so which means they happen at the same time period, sorry. So which means that it is at the annual general meeting that the final statements of the firm, the full year earnings of the firm are discussed, and it is only post this meeting that the final dividend of the company is declared. Actually, one of the agendas on the AGM is the declaration of dividend to the equity shareholders. On the other hand, interim dividend is when during the year, say post the announcement of your semi-annual results or generally quarterly results जो बड़ी companies declare करती हैं, post that if the company wants to declare some dividend to the equity shareholders in purview of the increased earnings, then that dividend is known as interim dividend. Basically, interim dividend is defined as the dividend which is paid between two annual general meetings. That is the interim dividend. Now, today also many firms, big firms are announcing their quarterly results, quarter ending December 2020. तो ऐसी कंपनीज, अगर इनमें से कोई कंपनी आज एक्स्ट्रा डिविडेंड पे करना चाहे टू द इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर्स, सो देन that will be known as your interim dividend. Okay, coming back to the example here, it is only the interim dividend that is received during the holding period. आप जो shares Mr. A hold करें, that is for 9 months. It is only 1.50 per share that will be received during this duration. So let us determine each of the terms first. So first is value of security on sale. So 60 into 100, 6,000 will be the value of securities on sale, while value of security on purchase, you are planning to purchase at 40. So 40 into 1,000 will give you 4,000, correct? Then current income received, you will be receiving 1.50 on 100 shares. So that will give you an amount of 150. And the last term that you need is interest on borrowings. Now your borrowings will be 50% of the value of the transaction and 50% of 2000, sorry 4000, which is 2000, because 4,000 में से 2,000 इन्वेस्टर खुद ला रहा है और 2,000 बोरो कर रहा है. So, and this borrowing is for 9 months at the rate 15% per annum. So, Kabir, how much is the amount of interest coming for borrowing since you have solved the question? Now, you will have to consider the months of borrowing because the interest is on per annum basis and the borrowing you are making is for 9 months. So, yes, can anyone tell me how much is the interest? This will come to 225. Yes, 225. So now your return on margin and this return is being calculated on rupees 2000. That is the amount invested, amount brought in by the investor. Now check how much is the return coming to. Just check.
मैम अमाउंट इन्वेस्टेड 4,000 नहीं होना चाहिए?
नहीं बेटा, अमाउंट इन्वेस्टेड बाय द इन्वेस्टर, जो वो अपने फंड्स ला रहा है उस पे आप रिटर्न देख रहे हो।
ओके मैम।
ठीक है, तो जो अपने फंड्स लाया वो 2000, उस पर सारी बोरोइंग्स एडजस्ट करके एडजस्ट करने के बाद ही इज मेकिंग अ very good return if you see of 96.25%. So make sure that in the denominator you're writing the amount that is from the own funds. Okay, so on his own funds, Mr. A is earning a return of 96.25%. Any question, any doubt in this? So let's take up one more question. Now, this question came in your previous year final exam, जो open book exam हुआ था. So please attempt this question and we'll discuss the answer.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Manvi.
Ma'am, I
Um,
actually can't see the
yeah,
question.
I display has dropped. I'm just reconnecting my device.
Okay, ma'am.
Just give me a minute. Yes, you people can now see the question and just complete it.